They are cute, friendly, and boy can they eat. This herd of goats, which can also be referred to as a trip of goats, has been employed by environmental services to clear the vegetation around 2 of the 26 stormwater management ponds in Tacoma.
Every year we need to go into these storm ponds and do maintenance. We need to cut down the weeds, and in many of the ponds we have a recurring and worsening blackberry problem. And in order to extend the range and abilities of our storm maintenance crews, we had this idea where what if we bring a herd of goats in so the storm crews can go off and do, higher priority work.
This stormwater pond in northeast Tacoma was one of the facilities selected for this pilot project. And with neighbors' blessing, goats from Rent-a-Ruminant were brought in.
This particular job was probably, as far as munchable space, about 1/4 of an acre. And so I brought 60 goats. They can usually get a 1/4 acre done in 3 to 5 days.
Around Washington State, goats have become an increasingly popular, eco-friendly alternative to noisy and polluting mowers and mechanical equipment. Other advantages include their ability to work steep hillsides that may be inaccessible to other methods. And goat's manure is a natural fertilizer, returning nutrients to the soil.
It's really efficient. They love to play king of the mountain. Efficient, yeah, they eat a lot. They eat about 12 hours out of a 24-hour day. So they're really, they're just munching away, munching and pooping. That's what they do.
While there are some plants that are toxic to goats, such as laurel and petunia, most foliage, including many invasive species such as Himalayan bramble, knotweed, and Scotch broom, are edible.
They eat a lot. They eat a lot of different things, but contrary to popular belief, they do not eat things like tin cans, okay? They'll eat things like political signs and, cardboard and paper, things like that. It's always fun to watch them munching on a political sign.
Do they have a preference, Democrat?
No, not really. I have tried to gauge that.
The cost of hiring the goats is comparable to the cost of traditional mechanical clearing methods. But unlike traditional methods that can broadcast seeds during clearing, the goat's digestive tract acts to sterilize the seeds.
The benefit really, and it was just really a trial, is to see if there was another method to get these ponds maintained. And the idea being that, perhaps the goats that get down to the root or closer to the root of these blackberries and other invasive plants might actually make maintenance need to be less frequent.
These goats not only help with eco-friendly management of the vegetation and the requirements that need to be met to keep these sites clear, they also can help bring people out in their own neighborhood.
So people, they love it. They come from all over, and they love to, it kind of brings people together. I call them goodwill ambassadors, because, they just bring people out of their houses and they start talking to one another because of the goats. And usually I find it brings out the best in people.
And this is no one-way partnership.
Most of my goats are rescues. They would have ended up in bad situations most likely, and probably in the slaughterhouse. So I have a no slaughter clause. They cannot be slaughtered. They get retired when they can't work. They actually have a retirement plan and I don't. It's just a really win-win, because they love this. They love doing what they do. And this allows them to be goats, and to do what they do, which is eat.
Over the next growing season, the city will monitor the pilot sites and see how the blackberries and other invasive plants regrow. If successful, you may get to see these cute little workers in your neighborhood.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win for the planet, because they're really green. It's a win-win for the goats, because they get a great life. And it's a win-win for people, because it makes them happy.